My name's Dalton. We are here doing a AC maintenance for this customer. So whenever doing an AC maintenance, we want to make sure to check everything kind of inside and outside, make sure we're getting this thing working as good as possible for the summer. So first thing, we're gonna go ahead and check the filter, then we'll go ahead and set up some temperature probes and make sure we're getting all of our temperature drops, make sure that's all okay. We're also gonna set up our static pressure probes and make sure your system's able to breathe all right and actually, kind of get air to the house properly. And then we're gonna open up our panels in here and get everything checked out in there. Any blowers, capacitor, see what kind of stuff we got going on with the A coil in there. And then we'll be heading outside. We'll be cleaning off the AC, checking refrigerant charge, checking capacitor, checking all the electrical voltages out there. And from there, we should be pretty much good to go after that. So right now I am putting in these static pressure probes to measure pretty much how hard it is to move air throughout the home and how the airflow is moving through the system. So we got those in there facing up, and then we can look at our iPad here because these ones connect via Bluetooth. So right now I am able to see all of our measurements for the indoor unit here. We can see our temperatures here and then also our static pressures. So right now we have a 0.8 total static pressure, which isn't uncommon for our homes around this area, but it's a little bit high, so we'll just go ahead and make sure we've got all of our vents open. But the filter we do have in there right now is a little bit dirty, and that needs to be changed. So we can actually do a little test and see how dirty that filter is. So if we remove this while it's running, you can see it's pretty dirty. It's pretty gray and black in there. And if we look at our numbers now, we can see now we're at a 0.1 and a 0.5. Filter's making a 0.2 static pressure difference. And so that, with a clean filter, that is a great static pressure to see on these systems. So now we are outside at the AC unit, condenser. So I'm gonna go ahead and I would just get started taking pictures. That way I know what we're working on. We have it for our records and whatnot. Get a picture of our data plate. Get a picture of our coil, which on this one doesn't look too bad. It looks like it's been maintenance in the past and it's also fairly new. And let's get a picture of our disconnect here. And then what I'm gonna do is go ahead and get all my refrigerant probes hooked up, and then we're gonna check the refrigerant charge on this, and then we're gonna tear it apart and clean everything out. So what we are seeing is the system is just a tiny bit low on refrigerant. It's low to the point where it would still cool okay during the summer more than likely, but we could get a little bit more efficiency out of it with a slight refrigerant adjustment. So we will recommend that to the customer, but it is cooling all right at this time. So now we're gonna go ahead and check our voltages and amps. We do have 245 volts coming into the unit, which is good. 120 and 120. We do have 28 volts from our thermostat. That's good. And now we'll go ahead and check our amps. We got 0.8 from the fan, which is within range. And we have 6.7 from the compressor, which is also good and within range. So that is good. So now we'll go ahead and turn the unit off here, and we're gonna check the capacitor. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this all cleaned out. We don't want any spider webs in here or anything. So here we are checking the capacitor now. If you don't know what a capacitor is, it is pretty much like a little, you kind of call it a booster to start your AC for your compressor and your fan. So we're gonna check that in microfarads. And you can see here we have got 40 on our compressor side, and I can kind of show that here. We've got 40 for our compressor side, and then we have 5 for our fan. And if we look right here on the data plate of the capacitor, it is a 40-5 capacitor, so that is good. Oh! Does anybody need a Nerf dart? This backside here is pretty dirty. So as you can see, we are getting quite a bit of dirt and dust out of the back of this unit. And on these, it's always really good to spray from the inside out, really push everything out of it. One last thing, the drain hose, we always check those and make sure they are drained properly and make sure you're not gonna have any water backups or anything through the unit. So you can see this one here, it does have some buildup in it. Now this right here is a trap, and this is very common on this type of system. This has to be here, but it does kind of collect more, you know, dirt, you know, nastiness. So I'm gonna go ahead and blow through that, make sure it's not completely plugged, and then we will refill this trap with water. So take this off of here, kind of use our hand to block it off, and then we'll... As we heard, all that came out over there, so we know it's not completely clogged. But you can see it is starting to get some pretty gray points in there, so we might suggest just replacing that hose. That way we don't have to worry about it clogging up at all throughout the summer. So we are wrapping up now. We went through the entire indoor system, the outdoor condenser, and really we didn't find anything a whole lot going on. We got everything cleaned up. This client is good to go for the summer.